Hello, and welcome to my channel. My name is Kat. I am the Nurse Flipper, and I'm going to show you 25 items that have sold on eBay in the last week. Also going to show you a few over on Mercari and Poshmark. And I would like to show you this stuff in case you have it so you can get it listed. And if you don't have it, maybe you can find it when you are outsourcing. So let's go ahead and take a look. As always, I am happy to show you the back door of my store, which is what we are starting off with here. We have only sold $78 today, which is not too wonderful. Hopefully we'll get some more sales here soon. The last week, 3,300. The last 31 days, 17,000. So I do want to also, I'm going to go ahead and go, I think it is performance, and we can see exactly what our selling costs are here, just to be a little more transparent with you. So of that $17,000, 1,100 were taxes. There were 3,800 in eBay fees. So you can see my selling costs are 38% of total sales. So 11,000 of that is actually what comes to me, and that doesn't account for my cost of goods or the payroll that we pay either. So that 17,000 goes down quite a bit once you are looking at all of these fees. And you can see I got $222 in credit. And yeah, so $6,800, 38%. That is a little high. I think a lot of that is because the boxes are a little bit more expensive to ship. So we do have quite a bit in shipping labels. You can see $3,000 of those costs are shipping labels. So always keep that in mind when you're buying things. Remember that you're going to have fees, you're going to have shipping, supplies. I do customer paid shipping. So this is simply what the customer paid, and we just put it back into shipping. And yeah, let's go ahead, take a look. We're going to look at 25 items that have sold. I am trying not to put, I think I only put one box in here, maybe in one dust bag, so you guys don't get too much of those and you get a good variety. So here first, this is a Guy Harvey pocket tee. This one actually sold in only a couple of weeks. This is a 2XL. That is probably one of the reasons it sold so fast. I got this for only $1 at my local thrift store. It sold for $16.24. So it is going to be about a $12 profit on that. And you can see my first picture. I do zoom in close on the graphic, and then here is the whole shirt. And the front is actually the last picture. So if you have these graphic tees, I recommend zooming in close on that graphic back of the t-shirt. And that is what I have found helps them to sell a little better. Up next is a Simply Southern sweatshirt. This one simply says Moody. It is a size XXL. If you weren't watching when I picked these up, I got these while I was in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee for vacation. I went to the outlets and we picked up, I believe, 40 Simply Southern shirts. So they limit you to 10 each. So that was 10 t-shirts and 10 sweatshirts per person. Both myself and my daughter got the limit of 10, so we brought 40 home. We paid $5 for them there at the outlet. So these are about a $12 to $13 profit, and they are almost all gone. A lot of them sold very, very fast, but keep an eye out because Simply Southern will sell used as well as new. Next is a book. This is a 1950, The Maugham Reader by W. Somerset Maugham. This is a first edition. I've had this darn book for like 3.5 years. I've had it forever. I was less than $1 into it. It finally sold for $13.64. So it is going $10 profit. And you can see here, it's not in like excellent condition. It's got some wear. You can see here to the sides. And you always do want to show that as well as the pages and if there's any writing or anything in it, but not something I am looking to pick up and sell again. Next, if you don't know about these were actually in a lot of clothes I bought, and I recognize that sock monkey pattern. So these are Nelson red heel socks. This is the original socks used to make the sock monkey. And we had 3 pairs, and rather than selling them individually for like $8 to $10, I put the lot of 3 together. And one of them, actually, you can see back here, has not got the red heel. And they sold for $25.99. I'm only $1 in, so these are actually close to a $20 profit, and they sold in under a month, so pretty fast on those. Up next, Pennsylvania State University, 4th in a limited series of Santa's Secret, and this one sold for $38.99. I picked it up for, I believe, right around $7 or $8 at Goodwill, and it was on sale half off. That's the only reason I got it. Otherwise, it would not have been profitable to get it. So here you can see this one is from the Collegiate Collectibles. It is from 2001, so it is actually a vintage piece. And this one for me is going to be about a $25 profit. It only took right around 2 or 3 months for it to sell. Up next is a vintage tablecloth. This is another one. A lot of the vintage linens that I've been selling are stuff I attempted to sell over on Whatnot just for $3 to $5, and they didn't sell, and I was pretty surprised. So this one is a chicken tablecloth, 33.5 inches. So this is like a bridge tablecloth, tea tables, another thing you can put. Sold for $25.99. I am less than $1 in. This one will be a $20 profit, and it sold in under a month, pretty fast. So here you can see it laid out. You can see we do zoom in close so that they can see the stitching, as well as if there are any marks, which like this one here. This stuff does still sell, so don't think it won't. And then we do show it with the tape measure as well. So this one was a great sale, pretty fast. Definitely keep an eye out for the vintage linens. Up next, this one sold really fast, and it made me think I might have underpriced it. This is a vintage Ocean Pacific button-up shirt, perfect wave. You can see I do have Reed in the title. Sold for $19.49, but look at this stain. It is big. So I almost didn't list it. I'm glad I did. You can see more stains down here on the bottom, but it's a really cool vintage OP shirt. And the buyer acknowledged the stain. They are very well aware of it, and it sold in 1 day. So you let me know down in the comments if you think I just happened to get lucky and find the right buyer, or did I price that one too low? I believe this is the only box I put in this video. This one actually sold for a best offer of $75. They paid, I believe, $80 or $90 for shipping. It was very, very expensive. This thing is big. You can see it's 28 inches, so over 2 feet by 19 by 11. This is one I got from Rod, so I actually paid him $5 for it. It sold for the $75. So it is about a $60 profit, and it did take almost 3 months to sell. It's been almost 3 months since I got that first lot of boxes from Rod. Up next is a Longaberger basket lid. This is only the basket lid, sold for $19. I paid $1. You can see it is marked Longaberger Woodcraft. So for these, I don't really know the baskets that they go to, so I simply show it with the tape measure. That way the buyer can measure their basket to see if it'll fit. Sold in just a couple of months. I only paid the $1, so it's about a $13 to $14 profit. This pillowcase is a Parks Project pillowcase. I picked this up at Goodwill for $1. It was marked $1.99, but it was half off, and it sold in just a couple of weeks. This for $16.24. I actually couldn't find any comps, and I think this is a really, really cool pillowcase. You can see here it is the mission to fund a project in parks, and it sold really, really fast. I'm very happy with the $16, probably about an $11 to $12 profit on this one. This is another one that sold pretty fast. It sold in under a month. This is a vintage lasercraft engraved. I did put lab retriever dog, pen holder desktop 3 inches. Sold for $19.49. I did get some lowball offers on this. I did decline them. I paid, I think, $2.99. So this one's about a $10 profit. It sold really fast. With these, I will tell you, the pattern really, really makes a difference. Most of them only sell for around $10. I knew I could get a little bit more having the dog on here. I think this would be a perfect gift for somebody for Christmas, and it sold very, very fast. Next is this Vineyard Vines t-shirt. This one I picked up at the thrift store for $3. And this is another one. If you do not watch my catch treasure hunting videos, definitely go over there, subscribe, check out my thrifting channel. Found this at the thrift store a couple weeks ago. It sold in under a week. It is Vineyard Vines. It's about a $10 profit. But t-shirts are super, super easy to list and ship. And this one was a pretty fast sale. Another fast sale here. This one sold in under 2 weeks. This is a Tate McKenzie Centennial Bronze Medallion or Medal. I actually got these from George, the Antique Nomad. This one I accepted a best offer of $50 on. I actually paid George a total of $50 for, I believe, 12 medallions. So I'm about $5 in. And this one's going to be about a $38 profit. It sold super fast. And this really covers the cost of all the medals that I got. And I believe there's going to be another one coming up, you will see. And the way I came across these, I didn't know these things sold, was I asked George if he had anything else small that would be easy to list that I could maybe bulk buy from him. And he suggested these, and turns out it was a very, very good suggestion. Up next, so at the bottom of our death pile were 3 fishing tackle boxes that were full of stuff. So what I did was go through there. I looked up most of the lures as well as the things in there. This is a Lensatic compass. The model is 14829. The sell-through wasn't that great on these, but what I was trying to do was pull stuff that was worth 15 or more out of those boxes. The rest of the stuff I actually left in, and I'm selling the boxes with those accessories. So this one sold in under a week for $16.24. I am way less than $1 in. This one's going to be about a $12 profit after fees. So watch for vintage fishing accessories, things like that. I listed some vintage fishing lures as well as fishing line even. So keep an eye out for this stuff, especially at estate sales if you can buy the fishing tackle box with all of the gear included. Up next is a longer tail cell. This one took about a year to sell. This is a Hohner's harmonica. It was in the original box. This one was made in Germany. I did accept a best offer of I believe it was $38 on this. I was only a couple dollars in, so it's about a $30 profit, but it did take a while to sell. I am not overly familiar with harmonicas. There are some that sell for big money, but I did my research on this one. And because I'd had it so long, I sent out that offer, and it was in the mid to upper 30s. Next, I was really surprised this sold this fast. This is a blue Parrot Oceanfront Cafe, St. George Island. Picked this up at the thrift store down in Miami. Only paid $2 for it. It is a size extra large. I did put swim shirt because it's one of like almost like the dry fit material. And this one sold for the $19, so it's about a $12 to $13 profit, and it sold in about 2 weeks, so pretty fast for a piece of clothing. Up next is this a really cool vintage estate sterling silver perfume bottle. So this piece is cool. It was in one of my lots. I accepted a best offer of $48 on this one. I am about $5 in. So this one is about a $37 to $38 profit. You can see here, nothing overly spectacular about this one, but it didn't take very long to sell. So some stuff I will pull out and put on eBay versus selling them on Whatnot. This is one of them because I think on Whatnot, I probably would have only got about 20, 25, and I ended up getting 48 over on eBay. Next is another buy from while I was thrifting down in Miami. This is a FootJoy golf vest. It says G4 logo. It was a size large, full zip. I sold it for $38.99. It was half off, and I believe it was marked $5 at the thrift store. So I paid $2.50 for this. So it is close to a $30 profit, and it sold in about, I think this one was about a week to a week and a half. Pretty fast on this, and happy with that sale. Up next, this is the only dust bag I put in here, and that's because it sold for so much. So as you see, this one sold for $58. I do still have 2 more available. This one was a garment bag. It was a larger one, 18 by 13. So watch for those different looking ones. Our other Chanel bags are typically solid black with white writing. This one's a little bit different, and I do research every box or dust bag because you would be surprised at some of them that go for more depending on what is put in them. That can increase the price. This one we are less than $1 in, and it is close to a $48 profit. Up next is this cute little Portugal for high mark gravy serving dish or salsa bowl. Super cute with a little ladle. This one I got at the thrift store for $2.99. It sold for $25.99. This is one that did take a little longer. You can see this one is very, very clearly marked, made in Portugal for high mark. And I don't know if I would pick this up again. I might. It was probably about a $13 profit, which isn't much when it comes to a breakable item. Up next, if you do not know this name, Ben Amon is a name that is pretty new to me. I learned about it just researching some auction lots I had. This is just a gold tone faux pearl triple strand necklace, sold for $103. This one took about 3 to 4 months to sell, so a little bit longer. Here you can see that Ben Amon, so definitely a name to keep an eye out for. A lot of his pieces do sell for over $50. And this one, I'm happy with 3 months for jewelry because a lot of jewelry is longer tail because it is so oversaturated on eBay. Up next, this one might surprise you. It does not surprise me. This is a vintage tablecloth, and I bought a whole box of them for less than $1 each. This one sold in under 2 weeks for $22.74, and it is going to be about a $16 profit. So it is still new in the pack. Got this from an online estate auction. They had a ton of these. You can see it's from Walmart, guys. From Walmart, made in China, still sold for $22 and sold pretty fast. This gorgeous teacup sold for a lot. It sold for an offer of $150, but it took 2.5 years for this to sell. This is a Murano Venezia cranberry art glass teacup and saucer. You can see I did put heavy gold gilt, and it is tiny. This is actually a Dimitas, not a full size. You can see it's poly and C, made in Italy, Venezia. And this one was a great sale and about $100 profit. Up next, this is a mid-century modern. I did put Daisy's Boho Kit. This one I got at the thrift store. It's in one of my videos over on Catch Treasure Hunting as well. Paid $1.99 for it. It is a king size, which is pretty rare to find in these cool patterns. Most of the time I only find them in twins. You can see here it is fashion manner, pen pressed, never needs ironing, percale, and paid that $2, sold for $19. So it's about a $12 to $13 profit, and it sold in under a week. This one sold very, very fast. And now we're going to take a look at the last item that I'm going to show you from eBay. We do have more, and you are welcome to follow our store. Check out the solds. We do not hide them if you would like to see a little bit more. So let's take a look at the last item to sell on eBay, and then we're going to go over and take a look at Poshmark as well as Mercari. Right, this is a really cool piece, Madonna and Child, Virgin Mary. It was transferred onto the wood, I believe. You can see I put Roman Catholic religious wood art, sold for $45. I only paid a few dollars. I love finding stuff like this. And it was a great sale, vintage piece. It does have the edges carved out, and it is about a $35 profit for me on this. And this is the last one I'm going to share with you from eBay. All right, so before we take a look at what sold over on Poshmark and Mercari, I do want to tell you or remind you, if you watch me, you probably already know, we do use List Perfectly to cross post. I get asked if I use a cross listing app. I do. It is List Perfectly. If you would like to give it a go and try it, you can get 30% off your first month using code The Nurse Flipper. All one word, no spaces, all caps, and you can get 30% off. And I will tell you, most people, as long as you're cross posting a good amount, then you should see results pretty instantly. And by that, I mean within a few days, you should start having sales on those other platforms. If you are not, then perhaps you don't have the right stuff for them. And it varies. So that's why I want to show you a few things. I do want to tell you Mercari and Poshmark over the last 2 months have primarily been box sales. So I'm not going to show you any boxes. They have tons of Louis Vuitton, Chanel. All of our boxes are selling very well on Poshmark as well as Mercari, but other stuff is still selling too. So keep it in mind when you're cross posting. Some things sell better on certain platforms, on certain platforms better than they do on others. And cross posting just gives you more options. If something happens to one of your accounts, all of your listings are backed up on List Perfectly. They do have the pro plan now that actually will automatically end your listings on the other platforms when it sells. So that is definitely a great feature to have. And they have inventory. I don't use a lot of their stuff because I have an accountant that does my bookkeeping, but they have a lot of really, really cool features. They have their own YouTube, so you can check that out. Okay, talked enough. Let's go ahead and take a look at Poshmark as well as Mercari. I'm just going to show you 3 from each of those platforms. So first on Mercari, Pier One Imports is something I love to pick up. Pick these up at the thrift store for $3. They sold on Mercari for $16, so they're about a $10 profit. And the cool thing about these, and these I think are on my catch treasure hunting as well, these were actually the lady that checked me out at the thrift store. They were hers that she donated. So it was kind of cool. She was telling me, oh, I just donated those. So watch out for Pier One napkins. We've been selling a lot of their charger plates. We've also just listed some candle holders, things like that. But Pier One stuff tends to sell pretty well and has a decent return for us. Up next is an Orvis that I'm really surprised it took as long as it did. This one did take a few months for it to sell, and it sold for $25. I got lucky. I got this for only a few dollars at the thrift store. I don't know how they missed it, but this one is about an $18 to $19 profit. So if you don't already, make sure you keep an eye out for Orvis. Up next, Harley-Davidson sells well on all platforms. That is one brand you can count on to sell everywhere. This is a Harley-Davidson hoodie zip-up sweatshirt jacket. Sold for $35 on Mercari. That was a best offer. I had it priced at $38.99. I'm about $5 in, so this one is about a $25 profit. If you do not know, Mercari is the lowest of the fees of the platforms that we use. So Mercari is easy to use, low fees. So if you're thinking about starting reselling, it would be an easier one to start on. And if you're already on eBay, I would definitely consider cross-posting over to Mercari. And now we're going to take a look at a few sales from Posh before we wrap this video up. All right, first, this is a Robert Lee Morris 90s sterling oval watch. It does have a new battery because I put it in. So I typically will only put batteries in if they're worth over 50. This one was worth right at 50. You can see it does say RLM Studio. It is sterling silver. The band is also RLM. So this one I had to pay $10 for that battery, and I was about $5 into the watch. So it's about a $30 profit after fees, and it sold in about 3 months. Right, cover your eyes. If you're not covering your eyes, it's a very bright shirt. This is a Ralph Lauren polo long sleeve that I did put large logo because it is a little bit bigger than standard. This one I picked up at the thrift store down in Miami as well for just, I think it was $2.99. It was on sale. So this one is about a $12 profit, but it sold very fast in under, I think it was about 2 or 3 weeks. Last is this pair of Colombia fishing shorts. Fishing shorts. These are packable, so they can all fold into this tiny little pocket, and they are size XL. They are new with the tags. You can see here we do zoom in, and I got these actually in an estate lot for only $1. They sold for $22, so they are going to be about a $15 profit. All right, that is everything. I hope you have enjoyed. Hope you learned some things. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. We will be having a storm this weekend, I think. So I might do a whatnot on Friday or Saturday, tomorrow or Saturday. I'm not sure. It depends on the weather. I will see. I did a quick sterling silver pop-up earlier today. If you came, thank you. Also, don't forget, tonight is the members listing reviews at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're not already a channel member, there should be a join button below each video. Sometimes you don't see them on the cell phone. They're just on the computer. But you should be able to click that join button. So for $1.99 a month, I do listing reviews once a month. Look at listings, see if there's something that can be improved to help you get more sales. I also do live sourcing every other weekend and find stuff at estate sales in your area for you, which is one of my favorite things to do. And then we also have a higher level that includes all of that stuff as well as live shipping every other Monday. So hit the join button, check that out. I appreciate you watching. I will see you on the next one.